One of the free games on Epic this week is the puzzler Automa Chef, created by Hermes Interactive and originally released in 2019. Now let's keep it simple, if you aren't a fan of puzzle games this probably isn't one for you. And while it obviously has a significant resemblance to the likes of Factorio and Satisfactory in terms of how the production mechanic works, there is no long-term progression here. You do a level or a puzzle, if you want to call it that, and then you start fresh with a new one. So if you're a big fan of those games, then there's no guarantee this one is for you. Story-wise, there's no real story other than you are being hired by a robot AI who thinks they are human and wants you to build automated kitchens for them. There are, however, other game modes other than the campaign which we'll go into later. So moving on to the gameplay. This is one of those puzzle games that is easy to get into and hard to master. Each level has its main objectives and then some sub-objectives, such as spending under a certain amount of cash on the kitchen. At the end of the level you are given an efficiency rating, which is affected by things like power usage, food waste, money spent, kitchen footprint. And as you progress you unlock more complex recipes which you have to create. Building a kitchen is a lot like Factorio etc. You have a dispenser that can go to a conveyor or arm or a processor, etc. that passes the ingredient onto the next stage, such as a grill to be cooked, and so on and so forth. There are obviously various machines at your disposal, such as dumb arms that pick up everything, or smart arms that pick up one thing, and this is to firstly ensure only cooked items are taken off a grill for example, and also it allows you to have multiple items being cooked on one grill that is taken off to their relevant production chain. And this could allow you to have one grill instead of 2 or 3, and thus you're using less energy and have less of a production footprint. It should also be noted that many of the machines have additional properties on right click. A good example of this is that you can change the direction an arm moves ingredients. Or with some machines you can change their power usage model, though these options come with pros and cons. You also get access to an order reader, and you can't really do without these, however they are expensive, but they recognise customer orders and then give commands to the other machines, such as dispensing the correct amount of ingredients, or turning the grill on and off etc. to conserve power. As you progress you get more advanced machines for use in the kitchen to enable you to fulfill more complex recipes using the limited space available. And each time you play a level you will find new ingenious ways to optimize and shrink your production line. You can also save all of these as blueprints, so when you come up against the same recipe again you can drop down an exact copy of the old production line you put down. It's not all plain sailing, as with many games like this there are also disasters that can occur, such as fires, blackouts, broken down machines, and your kitchen can even end up covered in salmonella. The game has plenty of tutorials to introduce all of these different concepts. There's also extra levels added for certain celebrations during the year, such as Chinese New Year or Thanksgiving missions. And then beyond the campaign there are other gameplay options, such as contracts where you are contracted to build kitchens for other companies, a scenario editor on which the Steam version actually has links to the workshop, and a free build mode so you can practice and create blueprints. The graphics are pretty simple as you might expect for this type of game, but it works and puzzlers do not need to have full-on ray tracing graphics to be fun. The little animations are entertaining, though I tended to run my game on fast a lot of the time, so I only really enjoyed them the first couple of missions. Sound-wise, the game has some reasonably present background music, and the sound effects are as you would expect for a game of this kind. In summary, this is a fun little puzzle game with plenty of levels to churn your way through, with a reasonably steep learning curve that keeps you on your toes and keeps you thinking. The addition of things like ongoing power limitations due to potentials for causing blackouts and other disasters just give that difficulty level a little bit of extra spice. If you're a fan of puzzle games or have never tried one before, I highly recommend grabbing it while it's free on the Epic Store, as it's very fun, it's easy to get into, and it has a very good tutorial system to help with that learning curve. Overall, I've really enjoyed what I've played of it so far, and it just goes to show how much fun such a simple looking game can be once you delve deeper. Automa Chef's Epic version gets a 4.5 out of 5 from me. It drops that 0.5 because some missions can feel a little repetitive, which is the nature of many of these puzzle games to be fair, but also the Epic version does not have anything like the Steam Workshop, so you have no access to the many creations of other people, and due to it missing out on such an awesome feature set because of that, including mods, then I can't quite give it full marks. Thanks very much for watching everyone, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all soon for some more reviews.